All right, so there's a really interesting story making its waves across social media, across the technology world, that involves GrapheneOS and the federal government. So there's a gentleman by the name of Sam Tunick who was coming back from the Dominican Republic. Now, when he arrived on his flight back to the United States, he flew into Atlanta International Airport. When he got off the plane, he was met by federal agents. Now, the U.S. Customs and Border Control demanded he hand over his phone. He denied at first. He refused multiple times to hand it over. He finally handed it over, but the agents could not get in. And then, after the agents requesting his passcode, he finally told them the passcode. When the federal agents typed in the 4-digit passcode, the phone flashed, the screen flashed a couple times, and then wiped itself. So, if you don't know, he was running GrapheneOS. GrapheneOS is a security first operating system. It runs on Android and currently at the moment can only be installed on Pixel devices. It has so many cool features just like this, but this could have implications that negatively affect the privacy focused operating system GrapheneOS. Now, what I'm talking about is I think this could be bad news for the GrapheneOS world. The prosecutors are currently charging him with destroying evidence, intentionally destroying evidence from his phone, right? They're charging him with a federal crime. Now, where I think this is going to go, nobody knows, but I think it could turn bad. Now, what do I mean by turning bad? Setting aside his case and if he destroyed evidence, whatever, that's what the operating system is for. But here's what I'm getting at. I think the judge in this case is going to use this. I think the federal government is going to use this Sam Tunick case as an example, and I think the government is going to single out GrapheneOS. Is it possible to outlaw GrapheneOS? Trust me, the government does not want you to wipe your phone like that. They demanded his password many, many times. He refused, and then finally he was like, all right, well, fine, whatever, here's the password. Boom, and it wiped the phone. Because obviously you have a PIN that unlocks your phone. But with GrapheneOS, with its so many neat security features, you can have a wipe PIN just for this specific situation. So I think at the very least, if you're running GrapheneOS and you find yourself in the same situation, I think they're just going to start charging everybody with a federal crime if you're in this specific situation and you give, whether it's a local, state police and or federal police or agent. I think they're going to start charging everybody with a felony crime of destroying evidence. But here's where it could go even worse. Is can Are they going to potentially try and outlaw GrapheneOS? Is that even possible? I don't know, but with this government, with this administration, I can certainly see them doing that. Now, this case or a future case with similar scenarios, I think could go to like a Supreme Court ruling. We need to be very vigilant of where this goes because the last thing we want is a government to outlaw a privacy first operating system. Now, going to Europe, France and Spain have already outlawed the use of GrapheneOS Pixel devices. Now, that's because a lot of criminals use GrapheneOS in Europe, specifically France and Spain. A lot of criminals, a lot of gangsters, a lot of drug dealers use that phone. So it kind of does get a bad rap in many people's eyes because it's, instead of it being known for the privacy first operating system, it's kind of catching a reputation of the device that criminals use. And look, I get it. Look, there's always going to be a good side and bad side, or pros and cons to everything. And obviously, that's a con of Graphene OS, but you got to take the good with the bad. And obviously, the Graphene OS developers are not intentionally making it for mobsters or drug dealers or criminals, right? They're making it to protect our privacy. But I think coming back here to the US, I think there could be a motion put in place to, dare I say, potentially outlaw this. Now, I don't know if that's possible, but as I mentioned before, I can see somehow, some way, yeah, them making it illegal, or at the very least, okay, you're gonna wipe your phone when you hand it over. Oh, boom, we're gonna hit you with a destroying evidence, which is a felony, and it's pretty obvious that you're going to be charged with it. And in the eyes of the government, they don't want you using this because they want all that data that's on your phone. So you're immediately going to be hit with a felony. Yikes. I just hope this doesn't go where I think it's going to go. But if it does go there, meaning if the government tries to outlaw this and or the use of this operating system, we the people need to get behind the developers of Graphene OS and support them in any way possible, any way, shape, or form, whether that's go out and purchase the new Graphene OS device that Motorola is going to put out. I think we need this around, even if you don't use it, right? Even if you don't have one, even if you don't use Graphene OS, we need this as an option just in case, right? Everybody kind of, gives it a blind eye or doesn't want to look that way, but what if you are under scrutiny? What if you are wrongfully accused or wrongfully being surveyed? Or I can think of many scenarios where, yeah, a Graphene OS device sounds pretty nice to have, honestly. And that's just one of many, many cool features that Graphene OS offers. Like, how cool is that? Yeah, sure, here, take my phone. Yeah, my pin is 1234. Boom, and it wipes it. You'd be laughing, you'd be kind of hiding your smile, but now they're gonna charge you with a felony. And it's like, dang. So this is not good news. I'm going to link this story. So if you're interested in this, obviously there's some more details behind it, but I just gave you the gist of what's going on and where this could lead to. I'm going to link down below a couple of articles that you're definitely going to want to read into, and just keep this in the back of your mind that I think they're willing to take it there, meaning the government. I think they're willing to do this because they want that information on your device, right? They don't want you being able to wipe your phone like that. They want to know what you're doing. So I think the government is going to take it there, in my personal opinion. So we need to pay attention and support Graphene OS as much as we can, and again, in any way, shape, or form, because you need this option if it goes there. Whatever you're doing, right? And I get it. Criminals use it, obviously, but there's a lot of times where they're watching you and you're not even doing anything wrong, right? And I know that old argument of, well, I don't care if they're watching me. I'm not breaking the law. Yeah, you say that at first, like I have too, and then you start to really think about it and you're like, well, wait a second. Like, why do they have to know everything that I'm doing? Why do they have to know every single thing I type in my keyboard? Why do they need to know everywhere I'm at? Why do I need to be profiled, right? And if you just want to kick them out of your life, you should be able to. That's our right as a United States American citizen. That's our right. And it seems like they're going to try and take that away from us. So I just want to put that out there, make sure everybody is aware of what's going on. Stay tuned to the eSIM Studios channel. I'm going to be following this thoroughly and continually be giving updates, because this is something that we're going to need to keep attention on. So I appreciate the time. Check out the links down below in the description box, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.